Hey, what's good, everyone? This is TJ, or as some of you know me, Martin Scorsese. I'm one of the co-hosts of Talkyourishpodcast. So look, the week of our debut, I promised you guys an extended version of our first episode. And the reason behind that was my video didn't save while we were podding. One last thing I wanted to mention is thank you to everyone that's been showing us love since day one. We don't take that for granted at all. We greatly appreciate it. Episode 3 is on the way, but until then, this should hold you guys down. Full disclaimer, this recording was during the All-Star weekend. And without further ado, this is Talkyo-ish. Alright, you guys. So everyone is taking a second look at this young Charlotte team, and it's all because of LaMelo Ball. He's putting up crazy numbers, crazy assists, and has a three-point range. Is he the real deal?
Baller.
Big baller brand, baby.
Big baller, man. My nigga LeVar. Hey, if anybody's listening, and I know y'all was hating, y'all owe LeVar a fucking apology. That nigga is a genius. Niggas owe him an apology.
I'm trying to give me some big baller sneakers right now. I need some right now.
I've seen a lot of niggas laugh at him. We owe that nigga an apology.
Now if you ask me, he a genius.
Oh yeah.
You literally put all three of your sons, and they became somewhat skilled at the you know what I'm saying, the sport. It wasn't like it was two sons, like all three of them. You know, even though we all know the youngest is the nicest.
But the thing with LeVar,
I'm gonna say this. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the thing with LeVar though, I do think that he kind of put an unfair target on Lonzo's back when he first entered the league. And I think that's why Lonzo got off to such a shaky start. Because if you remember,
Lonzo put a target on his own back.
His heart out. Like, Patrick Beverly's picking this nigga up full court on his first NBA game, bro. Like, that shit. And that's all LeVar. But LaMelo, he kind of stayed the fuck out of the way and let LaMelo do his own thing. And he's just like, yo, I'm telling you, this is the nicest one. He's going to be the best one out of all of them. And shit. It's already it's already happening.
That's where a couple things. That's where we have to give LeVar credit because he learned from his mistakes with Lonzo, and that's actually where he did go wrong with Lonzo with that whole he's going to be better than Steph Curry thing.
Curry, my son.
Right, he put a big target on his back, and actually in the interview, Steph Curry did admit that he went a little harder at Lonzo the first time he played him because of that, just to kind of show him like it's harder than what you may think, what you and your dad think or whatever. But so I definitely think that's what hurt Lonzo. But you gotta give LeVar credit. He learned from his mistakes with Lonzo, or I'm sorry, with LaMelo. Like you said, he just came out and said, "Yo, he the best one," and got out the way, and that turned out to be true.
LaMelo,
you know what I'm saying?
Shows in NBA right
now. The thing about you know why I don't hang it up on LeVar. I actually think Lonzo did it to himself. Like I remember the first thing I ever heard from Lonzo, like his first statement I could remember in my head was, "Nobody listens to Nas. No young niggas listen to Nas."
He did say that.
Why would you say it? Like, what possessed you to say that, my G? Like, you understand the league you in? You understand this dude's playing in this league that came up when Nas was the nigga? Like, why would you say that?
But did he lie, though? This nigga born in, like, what, 1999 or some shit?
It's not about whether he was telling the truth or not. It's you alienated yourself.
Right. But I don't think a music takes to alienate you. He got asked a question in an interview. He said, "I listened."
You think LeBron would have answered it that way?
I mean,
LeBron didn't come up in Nas' era, but I guarantee you he got respect for Nas.
I don't think
he ain't gonna say ain't no young people listening to Nas.
But that's true though. Niggas from his generation, his era, are not.
We're not arguing whether it's true or not. We're arguing whether he should have said it.
Right. I think somebody, but see, he was young. Nobody schooled him on it. Nobody schooled him on his media presence.
I will blame LeVar. You didn't media train your son.
Right. He wasn't media trained. He did. He gave him the talent, showed him how to play the game, showed him how to get there. Right. He didn't media train him. And because even LaMelo right now, if you watch one of his interviews, he's not.
They saw that shit. It was like, yo, don't say nothing to no reporters.
LaMelo's still hood right now, though. LaMelo. Yeah. I like his swag, man.
But I gotta admit, just on the LaMelo thing, like, let me be
you're
one of the first to admit.
Go ahead.
I sincerely want to apologize to LaMelo Ball. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think his game would translate. I thought he would be a good passer. No. I thought he would be a good passer. Because that flashy that passer, his IQ for just seeing the court, you could see that stands out no matter where he's playing.
Can't teach
But
that.
for him, I got his numbers put up. He's basically averaging 16, 6, and 6. So, like I said, big apology to LaMelo Ball. I didn't think his game would translate. I knew he was a good passer because if you watch him, that stands out on any court he's on, no matter what little league his dad put him in. But I didn't think he would be that good of a scorer. I have to be honest. And the way that he's getting to the basket over big guys, small guys, good defenders, bad defenders, he's definitely impressing me, man. And I got to say, I'm not ready to say that the Warriors should have drafted him over Wiseman. I see that's a conversation that's going around. I definitely think, right, everything is about fit. I think he was a better fit for Charlotte. And I keep telling people this. Had the Warriors drafted him, he wouldn't be able to be what he is right now because we weren't going to give him the keys to the offense. Regardless of who comes to this team, this is Steph Curry's team. You know what I'm saying? So I think like Charlotte is an opportunity for him to go, and they don't have, a dominant star to say, okay, this is your team. And he's come in and do that, and took over that reign and he's grabbed the keys. So I definitely, him averaging 16-8 or 16-6 and 6 is for a rookie. That's crazy.
The thing I like about him is that coach is a fucking idiot. Because remember I was talking to you earlier in the season. I was like, yo, this coach don't get himself fired. When he's like, oh, I don't care what he's pretty much saying. He don't care what LaMelo's doing. If he's turning the ball over, he's not going to start. I'm like, yo, why are you not starting this? Like, one, he's box office. He'll sell you tickets. He like, what the fucking two, you kind of stunting his growth by saying, oh, I'm not going to start him. Like, I'm not going to give in to the pressure. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you want your job or not? But he just came to a point where he balling so hard that you got no choice but to start him. I don't give a fuck what he doing. Let him go out there and learn, and he gonna give you a chance to compete.
Wasn't that Borrego? Just to cut him some slack real quick, I think what he was doing was trying to read the pulse of the team. He didn't want to immediately put Terry Rozier or Devontae Graham on the bench. I think he was trying to let it play its course, and then it was going to show that eventually one of those guys got to go to the bench. So I think you call him an idiot, and I understand it because he should have been starting LaMelo. But that was actually genius, and that was a smart coaching move by waiting until it was obvious that he has to start. So where one of those guys like Rozier or Devontae Graham has to come to him basically and say, you know what, I got to come off the bench. And I think Devontae Graham now comes off the bench.
Devontae Graham got hurt. I don't know how that's working out. Because I know the only reason why LaMelo started starting was because Devontae Graham got hurt. I don't know if he came back or not yet, or what's the dynamic with that. But yeah, coach, I was like, yo, man, what the fuck wrong with you? Start this dude.
Right.
But nah, he's amazing, man. I think he's one of my favorite players to watch right now, honestly.
Facts, he is a favorite. What you think, Skin?
Oh, LaMelo? I think LaMelo in the next 3-4 years, if he keeps playing at this level, he's Kyrie Irving.
That's 6'7", though, so that's crazy.
6'7". That ain't 6'2".
Well, I mean, as far as the skill level, I ain't talking, of course, he's taller, you know what I'm saying? So he'll be able to move around a lot easier.
I'm not going to.
But other than that, I really don't see nobody stopping him.
Right.
Sky the limit.
You know what I'm saying? He's on his way to becoming one of those forces in the league. And I think it's just off of sheer watching his brothers fail. So it's pushing him.
Do you guys
on a different level?
Like that shit. That's why when Luka was coming to the league, I was like, yo, this nigga gonna be a hooper. Like he's playing in the second most competitive basketball league, and he's like only 15 and he won MVP over there. I was like, yo, y'all tripping. This nigga gonna come here, he gonna do the same shit, and he gonna ball, and look at Luka, he's flourishing. That's it.
Do you guys let me pose this question? Maybe in 2 to 3 years when it's clear that LaMelo is a superstar, you know what I'm saying? Do you guys think he's gonna attract like bigger names to come to Charlotte?
Oh yeah. Especially if they make a playoff run, so if they get to like the first or second round of the playoffs, yeah, I can see bigger names coming. because they see that he's actually holding the team down and trying to take them
Is
somewhere.
Jordan gonna be stingy with the money? That's my question.
But will he stay in Charlotte?
I don't think he is. I think Jordan is at a point to where he finally has a good team. If there's bigger names saying, "Hey, we'll come play with LaMelo," Jordan's gonna spend the money. You know what I'm saying? And it's been clear that he's been a bad GM for so long. He's gonna.
I was just about to say, I think Jordan wants a ring as a GM.
Right.
I think he really wants a ring as a GM.
Right.
Oh yeah, shit. You do that. You can't
I think
tell that man shit.
I think TJ posed a good question. Will he stay in Charlotte? And that's a good question only because I think LaMelo comes up under the era of who cares about loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And not in a bad way, not to like spin it in that he's a bad person, but who cares about loyalty when we all know with these owners, they'll trade you quick. You know what I'm saying? And
he has potential for a big market.
Right. And it's clear LaMelo is made for LA, New York. He's made for the big stage. I will say that.
Yeah, but it also comes down to, do you want to be a pivotal play? Like, do you want to play a role, or do you want to actually be that nigga on the team? And if he goes to the Lakers, or he goes to one of these teams where they're building like an onslaught, they're building a squad, he's just a pivotal part, but he's not the team.
If he goes to the Lakers in 2 years, where LeBron is retiring and AD is staying,
I would say AD.
Then you got.
You think LeBron is going in 2 years?
I think LeBron is making a decision in 2 years. Wherever his son goes in 2 to 3 years, that's where he's going to look to go.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I give LeBron about 4. I don't think he's going in 2 years. I think he's going in 4.
I mean, as far as him going out the league,
and that's including this season. So 3 more seasons. I would say.
You saying out the league or just out with the Lakers? Going with the Lakers?
LeBron not leaving.
No, out the league, like retired.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I think LeBron got 4 to 5. I don't know, bro. You never know with LeBron. I'm done trying to guess. Like, LeBron might give us 10 more years.
I say he got 4. He got 4 before he, you know what I'm saying, he looked to hang it up and do something else with his life.
I think
whether it be in the NBA on the exact level.
Nah, I think once he hits the scoring record, that's when he's gonna leave.
Facts. I think that's when it's gonna be okay for him to want to go.
I'm not trying to dive deep into like the GOAT debate and all this shit, but LeBron is very conscious on the conversation, and
he's
conscious. He knows where he's at with all these records and shit, because he even mentions it himself. He's like, yo, if I can get that scoring record, like that would be one of my greatest achievements and shit like that. And when he walks away,
no, it's not.
You know what I mean? He got this resume. It's going to force you to keep on having those conversations. All right, he's number 1 in points of all time. He's top 5 in assists of all time. He's top 5.
We had this conversation. It's a lot of asterisks on his name.
You know how I feel about that.
It's a GOAT debate, but I'm saying LeBron is very conscious of all these things, and I think when he gets to that point where he thinks that he's solidified, that's when he's going to walk away. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? This ain't going to put up 20 points for the next 5 years. Like, he can average that.
Basically, he got unfinished business.
I definitely agree. I think you're 100% correct. I think LeBron is not even going to think to hang it up until he gets that scoring record. And like you just said, we're going to, during this tenure of this podcast, we're going to get into that GOAT debate, and we're going to talk about that a lot. So not to go, like you said, not to go too deep now, but I do think he realizes he'll never catch Jordan with 6 rings. So LeBron is smart. He's going to, hey, I'm going to get 4 rings. I'm going to get 5 rings, but I'm going to be number 1 in scoring, top 5 rebounds, top 5 steals, top 5 here. So he understands all those stats.
Man, that's why I wish Kobe never got hurt. Those last.
Kobe had to catch Jordan. He got to catch Kobe.
Kobe would have grabbed that.
He already passed Kobe.
That's how I look at it.
He was right there for it. But that Achilles fucking took off 3 years. That shit shaved off about 2-3 years of his fucking career.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bigger conversation, but yeah, man. I definitely think LaMelo is Showtime. Getting back to LaMelo, I think he's Showtime, and he may or may not stay in Charlotte. I think Jordan gonna have to come with the bag in 2 more years, and
bag and support.
Not only the bag, he, like I said, he got to come with some players got to come through to make LaMelo realize, yo, we can go somewhere. We could do something with this season.
Facts. I'm with y'all.
And I see LaMelo in three markets. I see him in LA, I see him in New York, and my third one is going to be Miami.
Yeah, don't sleep on Pat Riley.
Miami's a big market,
Pat Riley.
and you can't. And Florida has no luxury tax, no state tax. That's a big market. I can definitely see that. And let's add a fourth one in there. Wherever Lonzo is, I think it's a preference for both of them to want to play together. They've spoken about that their whole career since they've been in high school, how they enjoy playing with each other. And I think LeVar is really boisterous about his sons playing together and winning the championship together. So wherever Lonzo is, I can see that being also a quiet market for him.
I think they're gonna link up. I can see that. I definitely think they're gonna try to link up once they're able.
Could you imagine that? Lonzo at the 1, LaMelo at the 2, and the fact that he can shoot. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna hold you. I just got. I'm not even a fan of them like that. I just got fake excited about that.
I ain't gonna lie, I love them little niggas. Them niggas. I've been watching these niggas since they was in high school.
And they big enough to do it though. They both 6'7", 6'8". They big enough to play.
I love that big guard shit, man. I wish there was a way that LA was able to keep Lonzo. Man.
AD, you got what you get. You get what you got.
I mean, AD was worth it. It was worth it all. We got a ring out of it already, so you know what I mean. It was worth keeping up all them niggas. But
next topic. We ain't touching on that asterisk bubble ring. Next topic. Next topic.
Call it asterisk. The ring. That shit still the ring still on the finger. The banner's still up there. I don't give a fuck. Shit. Asterisk out. It was easy shit. It's up there though.
Oh my god. You're right. I can't take that from you.
All right, so the hot topic of today is pretty much referees just making all these unnecessary calls, technicals, unnecessary ejections. The most recent one was against the Lakers and Sacramento. Montrell went for a shot, simply just yelled "and one" and got teed up by a female, if I remember correctly. So that kind of leaves a door that nobody wants to open, where it's, is it fair for women to referee men's sports games? But let's go ahead and jump into it. Khalil, what do you think, man?
I will start off. This is one of the worst officiating years I've seen watching basketball in a minute. These refs are out of control. The refs seem like they want to be the superstars and they want to decide games. Like Donovan Mitchell getting ejected from the Philly game not too long ago. Fucking Devin Booker getting ejected from the Lakers game not too long. Like, why is these refs? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand what is going on with these refs.
Even the Draymond Green.
Yeah, like this shit is out of control right now. I've never seen this shit ever like this before, and I don't know why.
It's the panorama. The whole panorama, I think, got people's emotions high. So this pandemic, I've seen people more emotional in this period of time. Even when you have to, do your duties as a ref, as a basketball player, it seems like a lot of people are high on the emotional side. So when I was watching that play and he came down and she made the call, his reaction showed me that, like he was like, wait, what? Wait, huh? Like he thought he was in the Twilight Zone for like 2 seconds.
Everybody,
he couldn't believe it.
It's almost like he had to pull himself out of his body. And it's a woman. That's why. How you have to catch yourself and be like, you know what? It's a woman. That's why that happened just now. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's, in a sense, I just think because of the times we're in and tensions are high, race-wise, social status-wise, whether, you poor, whether you rich, financial status-wise, I think the tensions are high. You know what I'm saying? Male and female, tensions are high.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing it. We're seeing the tense moments.
Right. And
whether it be basketball, whether it be football, whether it be what other sports, you're going to see these tense moments because of the time period we're in right now.
I agree. And to play off of what y'all saying, Can I talk my ish, man? Can I talk my
Hey,
ish?
man.
Go ahead,
Yours, my
talk your
nigga.
ish.
And this is all respectfully.
Uh-oh.
But to play off of what you said, like you said, he caught himself and said, it's a woman. This is why I continuously say we don't need women referees in men's sports. And
Said no man.
it's no disrespect to women. It's nothing to say that they can't do it. I believe they could do the job as far as being an actual referee. But it's in my opinion, is to not open a conversation that doesn't need to be had. Now, in Montrezl Harrell's mind, she made that but call based on the fact that it was a woman. He even said in the interview she was in her feelings. I don't think he believes a man would have done that. And whether whether that's true or not, it just opens the door for that conversation. As women, and it's I'm not making this up. It's worldwide known that people think women are more emotional than men. That's just the fact. I don't know if it's the fact that it's true, but it's the fact that people believes that it's true. You know what I'm saying? So he believes that, hey, she carried that emotion from 2 plays over to this play to give me a tech for me only yelling and one. And I just think that the NBA and all sports right now are trying to be proactive on adding women into men's sports. And I do think that's a good thing that they want to be proactive on that. But I think it's a bad thing on doing so. And I think it's down the line, what you're going to have is players holding their voices and their opinions on what they truly feel about women in sports as far as being refs. They're, what I'm saying, they're going to have to hold back. I think Montrezl Harrell did a good job at not saying what he really wanted to say and kept it at she was in her feelings. Like, we all know, in my opinion, he wanted to say more about that and her, oh man, it was a woman, so she was in her feelings, blah, blah, blah. But he couldn't say that. And I just don't think that door should be open. And it's nothing against women and not believing that they have the power to be referees. But I think they should keep it in women's sports. That's just my opinion. And I ain't trying to get canceled. I just want to talk my issue a little bit.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback off what you were saying, as far as her being upset or feeling some type of way, like who's to sit there and say who knows what triggered it? Like it could have been just his ego on the court,
right?
That had her, rubbed the wrong way,
right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the male ego could be, damaging or offensive to the right woman.
Right.
So he not knowingly just being himself could have rubbed her the wrong way.
Right. And she felt as if she had to prove, and this is all hypothetically, this is, we don't know what they thinking.
Or she
but
had to bring his ego down
right,
a couple notches.
to prove a point, that, hey,
Right.
you're not going to talk to me that way on the court. And if that's true, although I understand her needing to stand her ground, you can't give them points. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a game that's won based upon points. Who has the most points at the end of the day on the board? You can't give them points right now because you're trying to prove a point. Whether you got mad at me saying and one or not, you can't do that, in my opinion. So I just
understand the atmosphere you're in. Understand this word's going to be thrown on the court.
Right. I've seen Kevin Durant.
Other players thrown at the ref.
I've seen Kevin Durant call the ref a bitch ass motherfucker, a faggot, a gay motherfucker.
I've seen that. I've seen LeBron say that. Yo, fuck you.
Right. And I don't think they should disrespect the refs that way, but I also don't think they should have to think about what they're saying in the heat of a competitive moment. You know what I'm saying? So you can't call a woman ref a B word during a game. If she reports that you did that, that's bigger than basketball. And male refs have reported they've been called this, and it doesn't go bigger than basketball because it's a male. So you know what I'm saying? Like, these words are gonna happen if I'm that mad in the heat of a game 7 and you make a bad call, I might slip up and say you know what I'm saying? And if that's a woman, it now goes bigger than basketball, and it's not even how I meant it. So that door shouldn't be open, in my opinion. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Real quick, how y'all feel about Trey Young?
Hey, I'm gonna stay on the ledge. I'm gonna stay on the ledge right now.
That's a good.
I'm gonna stay on the ledge right now. What Steve Nash said about him ruining basketball is fucking correct. He's taking the James Harden, like, going to the line and flopping and flailing all to another fucking level. And the facts that the refs aren't respecting him right now, I think that's trying to teach him a lesson. Like, nigga, you can't be doing this. And I think this happened like maybe like a month ago. It was at the end of the game. I guess he was trying to take a charge or whatever. Then he flopped and he didn't get the call. And this nigga was going crazy on the ref and shit like that. And I'm usually on the player side, but Trey Young is trying to abuse the game and he's abusing the rules a little bit too much. He's an amazing player and he got amazing talent. I think he's gonna be great, but he got to kind of chill out with the flailing and the flopping. Like I don't like that. That's bad for basketball. That's not cool.
I call him a shortcut player. Like you said, he's a solid player, but you could tell he would take a shortcut if he could.
Yeah. Like I get it that he is smaller, he's a smaller build and shit, but I just don't. Man, you ain't got to do that. Don't cheat the game. That's
right. Or try to manipulate.
Yeah.
You know
that's what he's doing. He's manipulating the refs, and he's not getting those calls in his favor. And now he's starting to like act out and want to cry and shit. But nigga, you know what you're doing. Like you didn't like. Nah, I don't like that.
I only asked because he was seen as one of the premier like rookies when he came out, and I just feel like he's starting to fall from grace. He's another one that's like that hype that they had around him is deteriorating.
I think.
No, I agree with you, Skins, and the reason why is just because you don't really hear much about the Hawks, let alone Trey Young. Like, keep in mind, when he first came on the scene, he was out there. And I mean, he's in his, second, third year?
This second year.
Yeah. Yeah, his second year.
This is his third year.
30.
I think with Trey, Atlanta Hawks, they had a lot of expectations this year, right? Like coming into the season, a lot of people were like, yo, the Atlanta Hawks is gonna be a good sleeper team. Don't sleep on them. They should make the playoffs, a decent team. And sometimes the expectations are a little bit too much. When you can't you can't live up to those expectations, or you're just not that dude. That's when you gotta manipulate and you gotta do goofy shit like the shit that he's doing right now.
And I think some of his off the court antics has affected him. You know what I'm saying? Like the I don't know if y'all heard about you know what I'm saying, the various women he be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Niggas fucking his girl.
Oh, nah, I haven't paid attention. I haven't paid attention.
I mean, sometimes I follow gossip blogs, so I be finding out shit, you know what I'm saying, about NBA players getting mad because this dude messing with their girl, or he saw this dude on her story, and I'm like, oh man, how is he supposed to go and put up 20 points and 10 assists after that? Like,
Trey going outside like that? Damn, I ain't know that. Trey going.
No, what I'll say about him though, I think both of y'all are correct as far as him being a little overrated. What I do think that hurt him a lot, he came in during the Steph Curry era, and he looks like Steph Curry as far as the way he plays, but he's not Steph Curry. And I think that hurt him.
I think he got compared to him.
Right, he got compared to him a lot. And it's only thing that, the small thing they have in common is the deep range. But I think that hurt him ultimately. He's more of a James Harden style player. Manipulate the game, try to get to the free throw line, you know what I'm saying? And that's showing now, and I think he's not playing to what people expected of him. So it's hurting him. And also, like you said, Khalil, Atlanta's not winning. So it's looking like, hey, you're not as good as we thought, and you're not winning, and you're flailing and flopping and complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, he'll always get compared to Luka because they had that same draft
and
class.
they got traded. They got traded for each other
They got traded for each other. So no matter what he does, he's gonna get compared to Luka. Luka being taking his team to the playoffs last year, winning a playoff game, even if it was just 2 games, the buzzer beater. So I just think he got a lot going against him right now as far as what his career is gonna play out to be. He has a chance to turn it around. He's a good player. I'm looking at his stats. He's averaging 26, 4. You know what I'm saying? He's putting up the numbers, but I think Atlanta has to win. Ultimately, I do think he needs to stop with the flailing, and the flop.
That shit's ridiculous. Like, that shit is bad.
Yeah, I quit that.
Like, it's like, because to me, Harden don't really even do he's not doing
as much, if we're being honest.
Don't do it like that.
Harden balling.
A lot of the stereotypes that Harden had, he kind of erased a lot of that shit. him not playing defense, him fucking only getting to the line and like that's the only way he can score. Like all that shit is to the bed to me.
Real quick, before I know we need to, time ticking on us, we need to get to a couple football topics and things like that. I'm glad you brought up that real quick. I just want to touch on that. I don't understand how James Harden is now look like how the narrative is switched that fast and he's now in the MVP talks. Personally, I don't think that nobody on Brooklyn should be in the MVP talks. Like, if
they was just calling you fat, my G.
Bro, like, if you know what I'm saying? If Steph Curry and Kevin Durant was quote unquote canceling each other out the years that they played together, how isn't the Brooklyn Nets canceling each other out right now? Like, I don't understand.
They've been gone all these games, so they kind of give that.
Then you still have 2 of the top 10 players on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who's producing results right now?
James Harden.
But don't act like Kyrie not holding his own right next to him.
No, Kyrie's definitely giving good support right now, but of course, because all eyes was on Harden to see what he would do once he got to the Nets, he's being spoke about more.
And I will agree with you and say the way that it's looking right now is looking like it's being led by Harden because Kevin Durant is out. Like Kyrie looking like he's getting his buckets based off of what Harden is doing, based off of the creation that Harden is creating right now and what he's doing. So I agree with that. But when KD comes back, none of them should be able to be considered for MVP.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
the thing
crazy,
is, we live in that NBA, man. We in love with them triple doubles. This nigga gets a triple double every fucking night, and he's winning every night. But
you right,
and we've seen sometimes the triple double is literally what kind of like the deciding factor is. To me, in my opinion, right now, if I had to pick an MVP, would be Joel Embiid would be the MVP of the season right now. And I got second. I'll probably put Dame. Right there second. And I want to throw LeBron up there, but like I don't know. Well, LeBron, he's just doing LeBron shit. Like he's not doing nothing that's amazing or groundbreaking or nothing. So I feel like with LeBron, it's going to be hard for him to ever win another MVP. Like last year was a year he was supposed to. To me, he should have won it last year, but I don't think he'll ever win another MVP. But fucking probably put Harden fourth. Yeah, I'll probably put Harden fourth on that MVP list if I had a rank.
I agree. That's probably a good list right now. Going into last week, I had Steph Curry in that top 5, but after what we just did, I took him out. So my list. Yeah, my list actually looks exactly like yours. I would have Embiid, Dame.
I want to see
maybe Brown.
Man, that's one of my favorite players, bro. I want to see Dame get that MVP so bad, but I just
eventually I'll do a segment on Dame empty stats on this podcast.
Oh, I'll with you, but I still love that nigga, man. I love it.
All right. For now, we can carry on, get to our football segment, man.
All right, let's go ahead and do that. So in the world of football, we're hearing a lot about trades and contracts. Dak with the Cowboys, Russ with Seattle, and Deshaun Watson with the Texans. Everybody's looking for the bag. Everybody is looking for a new home, possibly. With that being said, the way things are, and keep in mind, these are elite quarterbacks. Do you guys feel that these players have some type of leverage? Scratch that. Let me rephrase that. Do these black quarterbacks have leverage over the NFL? Khalil.
For my opinion, what the NFL is for these players, it's not like the NBA. The NBA is a players' league. The NFL is always going to be an owners' league. And I don't give a fuck what happens. We've seen it time and time again. So with these players, they can't. Like in the NBA, you can act out and you can demand a trade, and you probably trade it within 2 weeks. We've seen it with Harden. We've seen it time and time again. I won't go down the list of names. But with these players, the asking price on Deshaun Watson is what? 3 first-round picks, a defensive starter, and second-rounders and future picks. Like, that's fucking crazy. Dak Prescott, he's asking for more money than what the Cowboys are offering. Jerry Jones is strapped on not paying more than, like, he's like, I'm not overpaying. You're either going to take it or leave it. And now you can even see on the Cowboys side, they're leaking out stories saying, "Oh, Dak Prescott is unwilling to negotiate. Dak Prescott is asking for Patrick Mahomes' money." That's not coming from. That's not just coming out of the blue. Those aren't just rumors. The Cowboys side, their press side, is leaking all that to tarnish
The PR team.
and with Deshaun Watson, they're at with Russell Wilson. I think the Seahawks are even leaking all this news about Russell Wilson and shit because his agent even came out and said Russell Wilson has never demanded a trade. All he asked for was, "Yo, I've been the most sacked quarterback in the league. Yo, I kind of want this. I think the offense should go this way." And now it's kind of flipped up upside down. So unfortunately for these players, I don't really see them being moved. Deshaun Watson, I think since the situation is so ugly, he might be getting moved, but somebody's gonna have to they're gonna have to tarnish their whole. That's gonna be like a record breaking deal trade when Deshaun Watson gets traded. Dak Prescott, he's gonna get franchise tagged another year. Then next year he's gonna be able to be a free agent and do whatever he wants. And Russell Wilson, he's just gonna have to shut up and play. That's kind of like what I think is gonna happen. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be that way though.
I want to say you got to take this all the way back to Colin Kaepernick as far as how the league treats black quarterbacks. They don't care for them unless you're what you would call producing. So in a Russell Wilson sense, yes, that I would say they look at Russell Wilson like, you know what I'm saying, that's our baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's what you would call the perfect black quarterback. He's not in trouble. He has a wife, he has family, you know what I'm saying? Like he actually took on a woman that had, you know what I'm saying, baggage. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So in a certain sense, there's what you would call. I think they look when it comes with black quarterbacks, they look at the liability, how much of a liability you will be. Like the fact that Colin Kaepernick was so outspoken, you know what I'm saying? They basically had to prove to him, you're not greater than this league. You're not greater than this organization. And exactly, and I feel like a lot of these organizations. There's a moment in a black quarterback's life where he realizes this organization can make and break me. Like I really have no control. All I could do is produce and play the best I can. But like with the Dak Prescott situation, if they want to make me seem difficult to work with or difficult, period, all they have to do is put out stories saying that I refuse to do this. I don't want to do that. And now it makes other teams look at me like, oh, he's untouchable. We don't want to touch that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you might be a talented black quarterback, but you got to understand the environment and the atmosphere you're in. You don't really control that much.
So, two things. I agree with you guys all the way. At first, when we first talked about this, I was on board thinking that, I was saying that black quarterbacks have understood their power now, and they realize the control that they have and the power they have. But no, I was wrong. And HK, you got me to come over. They don't have the power, and it's always going to be the Tom Brady style quarterback that's wanted first. You know what I'm saying? Not to make it a race thing, but we all know what I'm trying to say.
You damn near have to be Russell Wilson to be a black quarterback.
Or Patrick Mahomes. And that's what I was going to bring up. Patrick Mahomes is the perfect poster child for the owners, in a sense. If they could all have a Patrick Mahomes, they would be great. And it's not
it's not to say anything about colorism, but I'm just saying, look at Patrick Mahomes.
Right. He can straddle the fence. The reason that, let's be real. The reason that Drake,
with Kaepernick,
but it's the reason that Drake is so successful. Obviously it's a different lane, but he can straddle the fence, and you can play both sides. And if they can market you as such, notice he's Patrick Mahomes is everywhere. They let him buy a baseball team, the Kansas City Royals. Do you really think if let's say Lamar Jackson get the bag tomorrow, the Mahomes bag, you think Lamar Jackson finna get a piece of the Baltimore Orioles? Not even close.
No.
Not even close. No. So it's that right there shows you it's always going to be that type of league. I think the talented ones that have the overwhelming talent, they have power. they can control their next move. They can control where they want to go. Deshaun Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I think that even the Seahawks are gonna maybe prove Russell Wilson a lesson that, hey, it wasn't you, and no matter as good as you think you are, we'll get you out of here. If you want to start
Right.
to speak out, if you want to start to feel like you're bigger than the team, but other than that, no, I think it's going to be an owners league, like Khalil was saying when he when he was speaking. It's going to be an owners league always, and until you have at least 20 to 25 quarterbacks that look like Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson, then it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll go a little bit further. Until you have 50-50 ownership as far as black owners and white owners,
Right.
then you won't see no
Can we
change.
get one black owner?
Because it starts at the top. It got to start at
50,
the
nigga.
top.
Can we get one in there? Shit.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but one is not. It's still a minority, so you're still gonna be treated like a minority. We need equality or majority.
I agree with you. I was just making a joke because there's not a single black owner in the NFL right now. Like this shit,
Not black. This is a minority owner, but not black.
yeah. Like if you start diving into the NFL, like this shit is nasty, bro. Like they implemented the Rooney Rule, and they're interviewing these black coaches that they know for damn sure they never was gonna hire them. They only doing it just to check off the little
Listen,
checkbox.
you know what used to boggle my mind? The fact that an NFL player in 5 years could get CTE, right? LeBron is putting a ball in a hoop, literally putting a ball in the hoop and making 10 times what a dude that's going to be a vegetable in 10 years. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why they don't play the NFL properly. Like, you got dudes that should be making $100 million and better because that's the level of play they putting out.
But
no, we can definitely.
It's a physical contact sport to where I'm putting my life and my body, my brain on the line. It's
and
not like
you're making enough money to pay me that.
In the NBA, you rarely gonna catch physical contact. You might catch an elbow. This man trying to flatten my whole body on the green turf, like
right. No,
and you want to pay me $5 million?
Right.
I should get 50 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I'm with you.
The average NFL player should make at least $10 million.
The fact that league minimum is like 3 million is crazy. League minimum should start at like 10, 15 million. Like league minimum, I want to say a 1 year league minimum deal is 1 point something million, or it could be 3 now. It's 3 something million at this point.
I think it's 3.
Crazy. But yeah, no, it's over for that. That's crazy though.
Yeah, speaking of which, I did want to get into the last topic for this episode. I know Skins wanted to talk about with the racial tensions and MLB.
Kind of leading into, the same conversation, playing the same different sport, but playing off the same conversation.
Right. And Skins, I know you mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to get your opinion about that now.
As far as what? I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much about the conversation we had where you wanted to speak about the MLB and the racial tension in the league and how that's perceived.
Okay. So to further go on what we was talking about as far as the racial tensions, especially during this pandemic time, how you have a bunch of black people dying, you got Black Lives Matter, you got a lot of tension between different races, whether it be black, white, whether it be Hispanic, white, whether it be white, you just have tension, period. And what I've noticed, especially in the last season or two in the MLB, is one, Hispanic players are becoming more vocal as far as their rights. And I've also seen the owners, which is usually the older white man, from a different generation, being more vocal about his employees that 9 times out of 10 he don't really know too much about, because it's that communication barrier where the owners, he's not going to learn Spanish, or he's not going to learn Japanese or whatever dialect this person comes from, but I have to learn English as a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? So not only do I have to sit here and play baseball to a top level, but I also have to take English ESL class. So I have to bust my brain and literally revert back to high school, or you know what I'm saying, some simple language academics where I should be focusing 100% on sports. So now you have, you know what I'm saying, players that having disagreements with owners because of simple things as contracts extensions, and owners basically manipulating the time service that a player might have, so they don't get that contract extension, they don't get that bonus. Other teams look at them and say, oh, well, you have issues and we can't do anything with you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I agree, man. That needs to be highlighted more. Like you just said, a player should never have to really, focus on learning the language while trying to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? I get graded on winning championships and my performance on the field, not how I speak in an interview. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big part. And we was talking about it beforehand, and I mentioned that the Seattle Mariners owner was caught saying something like that about how he gets tired of having to pay for these guys translators and for these guys to learn a different language. Like, he should have been ripped of him being an owner right at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
And even when it comes down to simple thing as translators, like I would just put myself in the owner's position, or you know what I'm saying, the exact position. If I gotta hire you a translator, if I gotta get you a translator, I'm paying that translator more to manipulate you.
Facts.
To tell you things that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So I have you in, I can control you.
Facts. No, that's definitely a good thing.
And if I could think like that, I'm pretty sure there's owners out here that do that. They think like that.
Oh my gosh, who would ever think that a rich billionaire is thinking to get over on someone? Right.
I mean, y'all remember Sammy Sosa?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all seen his complexion lately?
Facts.
Oh yeah.
He looked like a fool.
I'm about to say he whiter than DJ Wall back there.
Right.
But see, that just lets you know what he felt like he was pressured, what he was against, and what he felt like he needed to do in order to change people's perception of him. He had to literally lighten and erase his melanin.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And that even goes down to, like, before they even, like, when you talk about Spanish players, especially like the Dominican Republic and Haiti, you got a lot of the darker skinned Dominicans that don't like, well, the lighter skinned Dominicans that don't like the darker skinned Dominicans. Oh, wow. So, colorism even, it plays a big factor even within the Hispanic community, or within most communities. Because even in the Black community, there's colorism.
Right. But we ain't gonna go that deep into it, but you're right. But no,
well, I'm just talking about within sports.
Right. But I definitely think baseball, they got to do something about that. It's probably not gonna happen because it's an owners league and they control what happens. So this is all wishful thinking.
It's the same thing as the NFL. Right. You know what I'm saying? It would have to start at the top. And these kind of sports, they were created so long ago. They were created when we all didn't even have rights.
Right.
Like, I don't know if y'all remember, like, you ever watched the 1950s football when they sitting there like this?
Right.
Like, they didn't even move with fluidity. Like,
right.
They moved like they were stiff. Like,
yeah,
no, you know, but it just lets you know what I'm saying, what we had to deal with, how far we came, and how far we still got to come.
Exactly. That's a good baseball. Got to do something about that, man. They got to do something about that.
Yeah, let's not forget with the whole Jeremy Lin incident, where I guess one of his teammates nicknamed him Coronavirus. Like, yeah. Bro,
he said it. He said it was in the G League. He said he don't want to.
Wasn't it a Boston Red Sox player? I think he had did this. Yeah, did this to the camera, and he got caught.
Something like
I don't
that.
know if it was the Red Sox or the White Sox, but it was one of them players. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, Cordy was doing that to the pitcher.
Okay. That's wild. That's wild. But yeah, boys. Good episode, man. Good first episode.
Finally got over the.
Oh yeah, you saying next episode I got some Ray Lewis stories.
Ray Lewis.
Hey,
Right. We're gonna get into the y'all they gonna learn about the HK stories, man.
you know, it's funny. You say Ray
Yeah.
Lewis. I used to run track. I used to run track with his son, so I got a couple little stories about that nigga too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, man.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you for everyone that was listening. We appreciate.
Real quick,
What's up?
Scorsese, you kind of look like Maul with the braids. I ain't gonna
Facts.
hold you.
Relax over there. Relax.
I can't hold you, bro.
Yo, we turning this off right now.
Oh, shit.
All you missing is the fitted.
Man.
All you missing is the fit.
It was good to talk my ish with y'all boys on this episode 1.
Facts.
Yeah. We did pretty good, you guys. I mean, honestly, the only thing we didn't really get really deep into is pretty much talking about the. I think it's just the
Yeah,
Lakers. Just the Lakers topic. That's the only thing we didn't.
Man,
really
we didn't get into the Lakers much today. We will eventually.
LeBron is overrated.
Man,
Hot takes. LeBron overrated. And he be asking for
Look at
comments.
it. It's trying to trigger me, man. I'm trying to be good, man. Trying to be good.
oh man.
No, but for real, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you to everyone. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and just
We
be
got
on
a
the
lot.
lookout. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to say we got a lot that will be coming eventually. We're gonna have merch. We will have, if they ultimately start to request it, we're gonna have a Patreon to get some behind the scenes footage, get some behind the scenes content, and we will have a Talkyourish Discord coming.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Just when we get our fan base up and able, if people want to interact with us, that hey, I'm willing to be on there and talk sports with y'all all day and say y'all lying. So.
And I will be reading them comments. I bet not see no unlikes. I bet not see no negative comments towards your boy HK.
Right. Allegedly.
You heard it, man.
But
right,
again, thank you so much, you guys. We appreciate the love and the support. Really, stay tuned. We are far from done. We got a lot more in store for you guys. But again, this is Skins, this is Khalil, this is DJ, and this is TJ with Talk Your Ish.
Peace.